Hello, welcome back M1, and this is our third recorded video lesson. So we've learned about food from around the world and also some verbs we can use when we're cooking. Now we're going to put them together and look at some recipes, different food. So let's get started. Okay, so how do we cook? Let's recap the action verbs about cooking that we learned yesterday. Do you remember what was this? When we have different ingredients, we want to put them together. What do? We mix M-I-X, mix. Mix is when we stir or put together more than one ingredient. As she's doing in this bowl, maybe she's making pancakes, mixing flour, eggs, sugar, milk. Okay, mix. What about this one? Do you remember from yesterday? Cook food by putting it in water that is boiling. Boil. How do we spell boil? B-O-I-L. Boil. What about this? To cook food over fire or hot coals. So maybe a barbecue would be this. It's called grill. How do we spell grill? G. What's next? Gr, gr, R, I, double L, grill. So we have different ways to cook food. We can boil it or we can grill it. Okay. Now this one, to mix or combine together. So like I said, this one can be used if you've got lots of spices you want to mix together to make a sauce or a paste. Begins with letter B. It is blend. Blend. B-L-E-N-D. Blend. And this one, do you remember? To cut something into pieces with a knife. So if we're cooking maybe some vegetables before we cook them, we need to cut them into pieces. So we use a knife to chop. Chop. C-H-O-P. Chop. Now, before we cook potatoes, we have to remove the skin, which is called peel. Peel the potatoes or peel an orange. Can't eat an orange until you peel away the skin. P-E-E-L, peel. This is another way to cook things. So we've had boil, we've had grill. Now this one is using lots of oil, only 3 letters. To cook food in hot oil, we call this fry, F-R-Y, fry. Can you think of some food that is fried? French fries, for example, or chips if they come with fish and chips. And also the fish is fried. Okay, fry. What about this? Not mix. We use it to mix a liquid by moving an object such as a spoon in a circular pattern. Like I said yesterday, maybe when you're making tom yum goong, you like to stir it to mix together the herbs and the spices. How do we spell stir? S-T-I-R. Stir. Okay, stir. Now, we recap the words. Time for an activity. Read a recipe and guess what food is it. So I'll show you a recipe. Now, a recipe is what we follow when we're cooking. So it's instructions to help us cook some food. So we might have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, what you need to do to cook that food. So you need to read the recipe and try to guess what food it is. Now, let's have a look. First recipe. Number 1, chop some ham and pineapple. Okay, so we have the keyword there, chop. Use a knife to chop some ham and pineapple. Number 2, spread some tomato sauce on a dough base. We didn't look at the word spread. That means you can use a knife or a spoon to spread tomato sauce on a dough base. Dough is like a bread base. Do you know what food it is? Maybe you have an idea. Sprinkle some cheese on the tomato sauce. Now this is another key word. Sprinkle means take some and sprinkle all over. Add the ham and pineapple. That means add 2 together, put them together. Sprinkle some more cheese on top. And then you have to put it in the oven to cook. Okay. What food do you think this is a recipe for? Tom yum goong, bibimbap, fish and chips, pizza, pho, Peking duck, paella, kebab, tacos, sushi. What do you think? Which food is it? It is, of course, pizza. Everyone's favorite pizza. Okay, this is a recipe for making pizza. Maybe you want to make some pizza for your dinner today. Next one. Number 1, boil the soup. Okay, now remember, boil means make it very hot. The liquid gets hot, starts to bubble in the pan. Chop a tomato, an onion, some mushrooms, and some herbs. So we need a sharp knife, we need to chop, 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 chop. Add them to the soup. So that means take all the vegetables that are chopped, put them in the soup, and stir. Peel the prawns and add them to the soup. So prawns have a skin we can peel away before we eat them. So peel the prawns, add them to the soup. Add some lime juice and chili. So we can take a lime, we can chop in half, and we can squeeze into the soup and take some chili, put some chili in there too. And then when it's finished, we can serve it in a nice bowl. Sounds delicious, but what is it? What food? Have a guess. What do you think? It is Tom yum goong. There we go. We can see the tomato, chili, prawns, spices, herbs. It looks delicious. Okay. Next. Chop some lamb into small pieces. Lamb is like sheep. Okay. So using a sharp knife to chop the meat into small pieces. Flavor the lamb with olive oil, lemon juice, and herbs. So flavor means to make the lamb taste even better. So you can take some olive oil, some lemon juice, some herbs, chop the herbs, put them together in a bowl, mix together, and then we can put that mix on the lamb to make it taste better. Chop a red onion and a bell pepper. Put the lamb, pepper and onion pieces onto barbecue sticks so we can get some sharp sticks and put all the meat and the vegetables onto the sticks. And then we need to grill the kebabs on a barbecue until they're cooked. There's a big clue here what food it is. Of course, kebabs, there we can see. Now these ones are lamb, but sometimes you could have chicken or beef or pork. Okay. They're very delicious. Okay, so that's a recipe for kebabs. There are 3 recipes there. Which one do you want to eat? Which one do you want to make? Maybe you can practice your cooking at the weekend. You can use some of the words we've learnt. You can cook some of the food from around the world. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.